Hey guys, welcome back to CrackShot TV. I am really excited for this one today. This is the Holosun 507C Pistol Red Dot sight. This is my favorite sight, and I have it mounted on my favorite competition gun, the Glock 34. So I'm really excited to go into this and dig into this with you guys. This thing has a lot of great features that sets it apart from a lot of other red dot sights. But before we dig into that, let's take a look from our channel sponsors, Mars Training Simulators.
MARS stands for Marksmanship Augmented Reality Simulators. Our simulators are built for competitive shooting standards, but are useful for every firearms owner to train more safely and effectively. Subscribe to CrackShot TV and we'll be releasing more details about these innovative products in the coming weeks.
Alright guys, so let's start with the pros on this thing. This is the Holosun 507C. It is in the RMR Footprint. There's actually not a lot of options in the RMR Footprint, specifically because Holosun has pretty much cornered this market with their 407C and their 507C. There are a few lower end budget options for the RMR. The Swampfox comes to mind. Primary Arms now has one as well. I think it's worth paying the extra for this red dot sight, and I'm going to talk to you today about why that is. Alright, so I want to start first about what Holosun does that nobody else is doing, and that is to say that they're extremely innovative. One of the things that you'll notice right away on this particular red dot sight is the solar panels that are on this red dot sight. So the features of the solar panels actually allow this thing that when the battery is dying or near being dead, if you're outside, the red dot can actually still operate, which is pretty incredible to me. It's kind of a nice feature for sure. Because of this as well, the Holosun 507C has crazy battery life. So this thing can supposedly last for 50,000 hours. I've never changed the battery in this, and I've owned it for a year and a half. Another thing that adds to that long battery life is the shake awake feature. So that actually makes this a very attractive option for concealed carry. So if you're not aware of what shake awake is, basically the red dot will turn itself off when it's inactive. So if you have it sitting in the nightstand or in a safe somewhere, the red dot will be off, and then as soon as it detects motion, it'll turn on, which is great for concealed carry. So obviously that saves on battery life, but also it's just a very nice convenience feature because you don't have to be flipping the sight on every single time you're going to go take it out to carry. Another wonderful thing about this red dot sight is just how bright it can get. It's extremely bright, daylight bright, whether I'm shooting indoors or at the outdoor range. On a sunny day, no problems. It's really easy to pick up and see this dot as compared to other red dots that I own. I really like the push buttons on this. It gives you fine-tuned control over the different brightness settings. And the push buttons feel like they're high quality, they're durable. I've had this for a long time and really haven't had any problems with it. Another thing that's super innovative about Holosun is that this particular red dot has 3 reticles. That's what separates the 507C from the slightly cheaper 407C. If you're going to use just the dot, the 407C is fine, and it's like $60 cheaper. The 507C has a circle reticle, a actual dot reticle, and then a circle dot reticle. Now, personally, I just use the red dot for the vast majority of things, but there are people that I've read about online that really appreciate the circle dot pattern, specifically because they have an astigmatism, and apparently that can help with some people in that particular case. Personally, I actually also have an astigmatism. Some dots I see like a dash. The dot on this particular sight is very clear and crisp to me for my eyes. It works really well. Another feature that I love about this thing is the fact that the battery loads in the side. Now, I haven't had to change it, like I said earlier, but have I needed to change it? It's very convenient because you don't need to re-zero the sight. So sights that are either top loading with a battery compartment or side loading, that gets an A in our book. The next thing that I want to talk about are the turrets. So the turrets themselves have a flat blade screwdriver style turret, which is super nice because you can actually turn it with a shell casing in a pinch, or use the included tool, or any flat blade screwdriver pretty much will work for that. I really like the turrets. They're tactile. When you turn them, you can hear an audible click. And I believe they're 1/2-inch MOA. So that is super, super nice. These things are really well known for their durability. My mileage has actually varied on that a little bit. I know people that say that they have supposedly 10,000 rounds through this without any issues. Mine actually went bad at around 500 rounds. And I realized that's an anomaly. The internet actually, most people say they get really good. deals with this. I imagine I got a lemon the first time I bought one of these. This second one that I have has been going pretty strong. And I'll say this though about Holosun, their warranty is pretty good. It's not the best warranty I've seen out there. I had to go through kind of a long form process to actually get this warranted. And it took them about a month to actually get the sight back to me. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is price. So these come in at $309 MSRP. If you know a Holosun dealer, you can actually get these cheaper, so it's not advertised. There's a minimum advertised price. I've seen the 507C from dealers for $250 sometimes if you know where to look. And even the 407C, you can get it as low as $200, $210 on sale. So they're pretty good red dots. If you know the right person, you can get a good deal on them. All right, let's go over the cons of this. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is glass clarity. The glass is reasonably clear, but there's definitely clearer on other sites. Definitely Japanese glass is clear on some of my other red dots. This is a Chinese-made red dot, and the Chinese-made red dots tend to not have as clear of glass quality. It definitely is durable, and that's the other thing that I want to talk about is window size. So because the sight is fairly well built, it's very thick and durable in terms of the frame. It definitely feels like it could resist drops. Because of that, the lens is a little smaller than it could be given the size of the red dot on the gun. And for that reason, there might be better options if you're using it strictly for competitive shooting. Overall, in the price range, I don't think those two things can necessarily be beaten. But I do think those are negatives as compared to some of the other options out there that do beat them on that. And mind you, I'm really nitpicking here. All right, so the last thing is that Holosun is not an American company. There are American companies who make their products in China. Holosun is definitely based out of China. They have a distribution arm here in the United States, based out of California. And then similarly, if you guys are in Canada, there's a Canadian distribution arm. But as far as the company research that I could do, I looked through their career pages, looked at the size of company. There's not a lot of American jobs that are coming out of buying this red dot. And versus other companies, say Vortex, some of their lower end lines are, made in China. Their higher end stuff is made in Japan. But when you look at those other companies, they employ a lot of Americans, and it's an American company. So any profits coming from that company, generally speaking, are going to solid American companies. So in conclusion, guys, I really don't have a lot negative to say about the Holosun. I really like it in general. It's a solid red dot. If you're on a budget, it's definitely worth looking at. If you have a little more to spend, you might want to go with the Trijicon RMR for 100 to maybe 150 more, depending. But overall, you can't go wrong with this optic. Guys, if you like this content, please subscribe to our video. Please like this video. Any engagement that you give us definitely helps us grow. And just as a reminder, guys, always train often, be safe.